The IELTS exam is scored, the writing part, with these band descriptors. It's like a rubric to evaluate. Here is the top end of the band descriptors. So bands 9 through 6. Remember, the IELTS is scored 0 through 9. So if you get a 9 for your writing, that's a perfect score. So I am including here, this is the public version. So IELTS provides this for anybody to see on their website, how they evaluate your writing. You'll notice they have 4 categories: task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. So the evaluator will read your essay and they will see how high you rate on here by reading the criteria. And if all the criteria is met on 6, they move to 7 to see if that is met. And they're going to see how high you get while meeting all criteria. That's how they determine what your scores are. So they will get the average of the scores that you're putting or that you're scoring here. So if you get 2 6s and 2 7s, then you would have a 6.5 as your score. Okay, so let's talk about each of these individually. The first category is task achievement. So the question is, how well did you complete your task? They give you instructions, they give you information, they ask you to answer certain questions. How well did you actually answer that? So every question they give you needs to be answered. When you're in the general section, you need to answer everything with the correct tone, which means that you need to have greetings and salutations. You need to have, proper tone, so you're not going angry and then polite. You're not going to be formal and informal. The consistency of tone is factored into this. Do you fully explain yourself? When you make a claim about something, are you fully supporting what your claim is? And finally, do you give an overview of the writing? Whenever you're doing the academic writing, we can't just jump right into that line graph or whatever it is. Instead, you need to kind of explain a little bit about it. So you say, introduce it to the person you're writing it to. In coherence and cohesion, it's talking about how well things are arranged, right? Is the information arranged clearly and logically? Do you use a range of cohesive devices well? Cohesive devices are words like next, finally, however. These words we start sentences with. We need to know a lot of these to make things go smoothly from sentence to sentence. If I don't use those, then my sentence moves awkwardly from one to the next. That lacks cohesion. So I need to use cohesive devices. Are you using paragraphs appropriately? I don't want to write everything in just one big paragraph. That does not look good. I want to look at what my thought groups are and be able to write a paragraph for each of those. That will help the reader to understand the logic of how I'm writing. Do you paraphrase? So am I putting things in my own words? Am I trying to say things my own way? I can use some of the words from the prompt, but I need to paraphrase and put things into my own voice. And don't be repetitive. I can't use the same words over and over, or the same cohesive devices over and over and over. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to change them, be flexible, make things sound nice. The third one is lexical resource. This is our vocabulary, right? How well are you doing with your spelling? So I want to make sure that I am good at spelling the words that I'm going to use. You want to use a wide range of words. You don't want to just use the same word over and over and over again, but different ways of phrasing it so I'm not repeating the same thing over and over. We'll also look at the complexity of the words that you're able to use. Can you use words that are less common and more precise to what you're discussing? Or is it just generalities? Okay, is everything big, 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 big? Or do we have large? Do we have, things that would make it more illustrative to be able to describe something? And do your errors affect meaning? Because at the high levels, you can still make a few errors. However, if they affect meaning, where someone's reading and say, oh, that means something different than what they're trying to say, that's going to make your score go down. Finally, we have grammatical range and accuracy. So, are you using proper grammar? You want to make sure that your grammar is good. We don't want to be overly cautious on the grammar, though, and just use simple sentences. We want to also incorporate in complex sentences. You're going to be evaluated on your ability to use complex sentences. So make sure that you are taking risks and using some of the more complex ones. Showcase what you're able to do. Is your punctuation correct? Punctuation is evaluated here. So are you able to use commas well? Are you using good use of your periods and question marks and exclamation points or whatever it may be? Okay. And again, do your errors affect the meaning? If the meaning of what you're saying changes because of the grammar error, then you're going to be docked some points. You're going to lose some points on that.